for the VCW Heavyweight Championship with a 60-minute time limit. When the bell rings, the man in charge, VCW Senior Official, Mr. Ron Mills. Introducing first the challenger. He hails from Orlando, Florida, and weighed in at 265 pounds, Badass Billy Gunn! Introducing his opponent, standing to my left, he weighed in at 191 pounds. In his 672nd day as VCW Heavyweight Champion from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Jerry Stephanitsis presents Mr. Xcellence, Brandon Scott.
Well, you heard it from Brandon Scott. You heard it from Brandon Matheny via Brandon Scott. But 672 days and counting as VCW Heavyweight Champion. As you see the size differential there between the champion and challenger. But do not discount Brandon Scott. As with Jerry Stephanitsis ringside, you never know what they could cook up. You see the championship title held high. As Billy Gunn having some fun with Brandon Matheny in the pre-match introductions. But it will be all business when the bell rings. Now Scott has the microphone. Come on now, what's this about?
I'm not even sure why you're here, Billy Gunn. Nobody really cares about you anymore. You're washed up, Billy Gunn. You're washed up. I beat you back in February. You don't even deserve a rematch. Nobody cares about your stupid little signs, so sit down. You better keep your eyes on me. I've already beat you, Billy. You have...
As Billy Gunn tells Brandon Scott where to meet him.
That's not even nice, but get down, get down. Oh, nobody wants to see that. Are you ready for me to beat you again, Billy? Are you ready? Okay. All right.
So it looks like we're about to begin. Oh, no, 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 no.
Hey, does anybody mind if I talk for just a second right now? First of all, shut your mouth. Yes, we understand. In February, you beat me. Blind squirrel, nut, every once in a while. Yes, I can be beaten, but not twice. So tonight, your reign, how many days was it? Nobody cares how many days it was, because I promise you it ends tonight. And if you're not down with that, we got two words for you.
Well, you can certainly see where the crowd will be laying their support in this heavyweight title matchup. I'm not sure it was a good idea by Brandon Scott to get on the microphone, because business is about to pick up as Billy Gunn is ready to tango. Once again with the VCW Heavyweight Champion, as Gunn alluded to back in February, Brandon Scott defeated him. But it will not be twice, according to the challenger. As bell sounds, we are underway. VCW Heavyweight title on the line. Badass Billy Gunn challenging Mr. Xcellence Brandon Scott. Senior official Ron Mills assigned to this contest. As I'm not sure Brandon Scott even has 1% of this crowd support, as he has not had much fanfare over the last year and a half plus. As Scott once again slides to the outside, showing the fans in Norfolk how he feels. As this looks to be all part of the game plan of Brandon Scott and Jerry Stephanitsis. the proverbial manager of champions, as this man has led multiple individuals to championship gold and great success here in VCW. As Brandon Scott holds his championship. Remember, he's at 672. He wants to make it 673. As Billy Gunn holds it high. That could be a future sight. But if Brandon Scott gets past Billy Gunn yet again, he's looking at 700 plus days as VCW heavyweight champion and solidifying himself as the number 2 man in terms of title length in the reign in company history, only behind Dirty Money. These two still yet to lock it up in that feeling out process. You have to think the mental edge lies with the challenger now, as that tide has possibly swung towards Billy Gunn. Since even before the opening bell, he tells Brandon Scott exactly where to meet him, right down there. As Gunn mocking Scott here, showing off the size differential between the challenger and the champion. And that size and strength certainly does lie with Billy Gunn. But the championship advantage and the underhanded tactics firmly checking the box on the Brandon Scott side. As Scott looking for that test of strength. And it looks like we're finally going to get it here. As these two lock it up and Billy Gunn immediately taking him down. As we knew that equation was likely going to produce that result. As Gunn stomps on both of the hands of Mr. Xcellence as Brandon Scott rolls to the outside as the VCW heavyweight champion looks to be in a world of frustration right now, totally thrown off of his game by Billy Gunn here in the first few minutes. You have to think earlier on tonight at a Nightmare on Granby Street at the first ever Lewis Lounge, our broadcast colleague Tim Lewis interviewing Benjamin Big Money Banks, the winner of the 2017 Liberty Lottery. And he declared that it was not going to be against Gino for the Commonwealth Heritage title. It was not going to be against Phil Brown in the United States Liberty title, or at the time, Phil Brown and J.J. Blake, the tag team titles. He was going after Brandon Scott in the VCW heavyweight title. And you have to think Mr. Xcellence, knowing that's now official, somewhere in the back of his mind, he has to be thinking of Big Money Banks. But Billy Gunn looks out to the crowd, that thumb to the eye, momentarily created an opening for the champion. But Billy Gunn getting right back into it with a series of right hands. And once again, Brandon Scott rolls to the floor. As the physicality in this matchup starting to pick up. As remember, Brandon Scott, that champion's advantage, a count out, will still keep the title in his and Jerry Stephanitsis' camp. As Jerry Stephanitsis.
5 minutes have elapsed. 55 minutes remaining.
As Billy Gunn corroborates the time there with Brandon Matheny. 5 minutes gone by, 55 minutes remaining. Remember, 1 hour time limit in all sanctioned VCW Heavyweight Championship matchups. And back in September, just a few weeks ago in Suffolk, Virginia, Jerry Stephanitsis tending to some personal matters between him and Brandon Scott, some business ventures, if you will. And you see that power and strength advantage by Billy Gunn yet again, taking him down with that shoulder tackle. As Scott, slowing down the pace, rolls to the outside and curtailing the momentum of the challenger. But again, Jerry Stephanitsis tending to some business ventures was not in attendance, but his pockets certainly were in attendance as he pulled out the cash, paid off the Hall of Famer J.J. Dillon as he did the old double cross. You can never trust a horseman, as J.J. Dillon turned his back on Caleb Conley, helped Brandon Scott, gave him the big assist as Scott retained the heavyweight championship and officially inked his spot in this matchup against Billy Gunn. We knew Gunn was going to be the challenger. At the time, we did not know who the champion would be, but Scott's reign extended past 640 days at the time. Now he's at 672 and looking to keep that ball rolling on past 700. As Ron Mills administering that count, as we are vastly approaching the 15-minute mark, rather the 10-minute mark of this heavyweight championship matchup. As Brandon Scott rolls in and right back out. And you have to hand it to Brandon Scott, whether you like the strategy or not. Slowing down the pace and not allowing Billy Gunn to keep the offense rolling. As he reaches out to the crowd there. Looks like he's got some plunder. We know that's not legal. We do see that steel chair in the corner. The disqualifications are valid in this matchup. As Billy Gunn has the cane. Gives it back to the fan in the front row. You never know what's going to happen when you get a ringside seat here at a VCW event. The action spills all over the place, as we've seen earlier on tonight with that Granby, or that trick-or-treat matchup, as well as that no disqualification tag team war. Scott off the ropes. Billy Gunn kicks him right in the knee. Cuts him right in half. Gunn nails him with a super kick there. Maybe stealing that out of the New Japan playbook ever since making a few appearances there in 2017. As that near fall sends Brandon Scott to the outside, our first near fall of the contest. As Billy Gunn rams Brandon Scott face first into our steel barricade. Ron Mills in this championship encounter a little more lenient in his call. As Gunn beating Scott all around the ringside area. Now picks him up. Again, talk about a front row seat. As he puts Brandon Scott right on that guardrail in a very precarious position. And listen to that right hand. You can maybe hear that in Orlando where Billy came from. As Gunn breaks up the count. As he quickly shrugs off Jerry Stephanitsis and forces him running. And you have to think, with Billy Gunn already encountering Brandon Scott on one occasion, going back in excess of 6 months, you have to think, as this crowd chanting for one more time, wanting Billy Gunn to take Brandon Scott right into the guardrail. As he's got him here, and he nails him. But you have to think Billy Gunn has a little bit of an advantage over a new challenger to Brandon Scott, based on his familiarity with Jerry Stephanitsis and some of his tactics. As Gunn, in preparation for this matchup, had to be prepared for Jerry. And you see it right there. But Brandon Scott comes right back there with that basement drop kick. And it looks like Mr. Xcellence will finally take over, as Jerry Stephanitsis attempted to trip up Billy Gunn. Gunn shrugs him off, but right as he turns around, Ron Mills here. He's connecting the dots. He sees the interference. He picked the leg. Ron Mills is about to make a decision. Jerry Stephanitsis, get out of here! He tosses Jerry from the ringside area. Stephanitsis is irate as Brandon Scott goes right back to work on Billy Gunn. Stephanitsis has been tossed, evening the odds. The X Factor, the difference maker, the third man, Jerry Stephanitsis, he's out of here. And Billy Gunn,
10 minutes have
hopefully now
elapsed.
has
50
a
minutes remaining.
Braden Scott. As Mr. Xcellence looking out to the crowd, but that baseball slide sends Billy Gunn off the apron all the way to the arena floor. As this crowd trying to rally behind badass Billy Gunn, but Brandon Scott here driving that boot right to the throat. He's on the floor. Perfectly legal in this situation. As Scott rolls back in. As you see the carnage right there, Billy Gunn laid out. As you have to hand it to Brandon Scott. He has not lost focus ever since Jerry Stephanitsis has been tossed. This is certainly a main event caliber match, just about anywhere in the country. And it's for the richest prize in the Mid-Atlantic here tonight. Brandon Scott, champion ever since December of 2015. Billy Gunn in his second appearance for Vanguard Championship Wrestling. There's a patented fist drop from Brandon Scott. One more time. And will the third time be a charm from that second turnbuckle? Drives the fist right between the eyes. And Brandon Scott looks to finish off Billy Gunn perhaps, as he's choking him away there in the corner. He has 5 seconds to break. Ron Mills counting away. Brandon Scott needs to be careful, but then again, if he does get disqualified, he would lose the matchup, but indeed would retain the championship. And Scott looking to maybe soften Billy Gunn up for that Scott Buster. Tries to pull him out of the corner. Billy Gunn kicks him right off. Creates a bit of separation here as badass Billy Gunn looks to get back to a vertical base. Brandon Scott once again keeping him grounded with that basement dropkick. Smart move by the champion, as there's about an 8-inch height differential between the champion and challenger, about 5'8" to 6'5". As Scott going down to the mat, looking to maybe lock in a full Nelson. I'm not sure he can get those fingers locked and really cinch this hold in. As Billy Gunn elbowing out of it. Scott off the ropes and takes out his knee yet again. Not known as a submission wrestler, but a very smart move. A well-written game plan by Mr. Xcellence to attack the knee of Billy Gunn. But wait a minute, Gunn. He gets him in a body scissors here, almost a rear naked choke. Again, utilizing some of those moves he possibly picked up in New Japan. And Gunn firing back with a series of right hands. Breaks free out of the hold of Brandon Scott.
15 minutes have elapsed. 45 minutes remaining.
You hear the 15-minute mark called out by Brandon Matheny. We are officially a quarter of the way home of this VCW heavyweight title matchup in terms of the time limit. Scott charges in and eats the back elbow of Gunn. Creates the separation yet again. And there's a clothesline. One more time by Mr. Ass. Sends him into the corner. And Gunn now kicks him in the midsection. Rallying this crowd behind him, tells him where to meet him off the ropes. He's going for the famouser. Scott has it well. Scott sidesteps him, but instead clobbers Ron Mills. Mills goes down. Gunn's got him here. That Cobra Clutch slap, the one and only. He nails him. We could have a one and only new champion. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got it. Here comes this other official. He slides in. 1, 2, 3. Oh! And at 2 7/8, Brandon Scott is able to kick out at the nick of time. Senior official Ron Mills has been laid out. Billy Gunn now, back in control and looking to slam the door here. And even though he's the veteran, even though he's the international star, would still have to be considered somewhat of a mild upset. Goes for the swinging side slam, and the feet of Brandon Scott catch the second official. And on the way down, folks, I'm not sure if you saw it, but Brandon Scott catches Billy Gunn with a low blow. But with Ron Mills out, this other official out, there's no one to disqualify. Here comes a third ref. That's Jerry Stephanitsis. Come on now. Ron Mills tossed him from the ringside area. He's banned from this matchup. Brandon Scott, he's going to climb up to the top turnbuckle. He's going to get in position for the Scott Buster. Billy Gunn, he's back to his feet. Scott up top, he nails it. Scott makes the cover. Stephanitsis is not the official. Oh! And Billy Gunn, even with the fast count, even with the illegal referee, somehow finds a way to kick out. They have no ace up their sleeve. They have nothing in their back pocket. Wait a minute. Look at the entranceway. It's Big Money Banks. As Jerry Stephanitsis, Stephanitsis motioning for Banks. He's motioning for him to take out Billy Gunn. For all he's done to Banks over the last 2.5, 3 months. Oh! And he slaps him right across the mouth. Banks looks at Gunn, looks at Scott. Oh! He grabs Jerry! There it is! He drops him down with it. That front slam, Scott sends Banks to the back. Brandon Scott, I'm not sure even realized Jerry got taken out. He's too preoccupied with Billy Gunn. As Ron Mills looks to have come to, Scott, he grabs Billy Gunn. Oh! Kicks him in the midsection. Finisher! Right in the center of the ring. Rolls him over. Hooks the leg. 2, 3. We got a new champion. We got a new champion. Who's our new champion?
And the new VCW Heavyweight Champion, Badass Billy Gunn!
History has been made here in the Norfolk Masada Temple. Finally, after 22 months, the plan of Jerry Stephanitsis and Brandon Scott has backfired. And Badass Billy Gunn is your new VCW Heavyweight Champion.
Sounds to me like you guys aren't done partying just yet. I told you, Brandon, come out here running your mouth and I'll shut it for you. Hey, you guys were awesome. I was just over here telling my twin and whoever she brought with her. Nothing. Rodell, get it? It's okay, everybody always liked him more anyway. Even though I was the more talented one. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so they got a huge pop. We saw how that went, right? Hey, you guys were awesome, man. I mean, honestly, guys would come out here and say, hey, it's for the fans. No. I actually mean it. They probably mean it too. They're just not as old as I am. I turned 54 in 2 weeks, and I have as much. And I have more fun now than I did when I was in DX. Simply because you guys are just simply awesome. So let's just make this really loud. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Awesome.